How can you call it a fair fight if you break the rules? I'm going to show the entire Naruto series to my children. I'll make it a thing we do, like a movie night, but with a couple episodes of Naruto every time. And if they want to learn more about the world without watching the show, I'll get the manga. In my time, I have tried to surmise trading card games, all unique in their own way, yet it seems I can play all of them. Finding the right one's a task in of itself though, cause what do you mean? Everyone wants to play their own TCG, or is that just me? The American dream is a meme for those without things, those with no dream of their own to pursue, disheartening. It's in pursuit of this dream that people buy into capitalism, it seems.
Looks like low tide.
Seeing the Hidden Leaf grow over time made me realize how many side characters accrue if you give it mind. You don't need to learn anything about them, not even their names, but they help keep the world from being barren and empty. One also accounts all the cards one has access to. Games love rules to explain how their cards are something new. Is it true so many labels make space for new ideas few? Pews, PEMDAS, potentiality, and range win the game for the new? There's more to governance than just handling conflict. How do you fix the problem if there's no way to solve it? For the last time, I'm not gonna buy a Toyota Tacoma or Forever 21 Disney high fashion for me or my mama. If a fool is foolish, it fools those around them, holding up other fools when they stop to fool with it. Others see the situation and do one of three things about it. Avoid the fools, manipulate the people, or eliminate them. Here's the conversation you'll have with your opposition. Hello, have you heard of this thing? If not, I win. They might say yes, but have you heard of this thing? If not, I win. And that chain you'll keep going. I can barely stand the alcohol I need to drink, the McDonald's I need to eat, for the government to think it's worthwhile just to keep the lights on for me, the ciggies and resin inhaling into my chest from my brethren to prevent the rapture caused by too many middlemen. Have you learned your understanding of things to be true? Contradicting belief is wrong and mean nothing to you? Why are you so sure you got the right idea? Come on, dude. If you're correct, then what am I? An infidel? An incel? Fuck you. You can play a card game in one of two ways, by beating your opponent or forcing victories. Now what if politics were all cards, no games, and that's why Trump's regime cannot win the presidency? I believe that Kamala is equipped to be president. She's already been a senator from California, 8 years in criminal justice to try and circumvent the fact that she's a politician selling a party that's trying to gorge you. Trump bought out RFK, a guy riding on his dynasty. Wasn't elected a second term, he staged a coup on our democracy. He's a businessman and paid actor schooled as far as a bachelor's, which didn't prevent 6 bankruptcies in his long life and career. At the very least, I know Harris can speak on TV. That's something that I have seen at the very least. Donald Trump is a lying con artist trying to peddle steak oil. He just hasn't been the same since that bullet just missed him. I believe in a competition of supremacy, Kamala would win in a fight. A fisticuffs and calling bluffs not currently in the hands of the right. They do not control the military, but with your vote they just might. Agenda 47 in hand, appointees glad for a chance to just say kike. Teaching submission to authority doesn't make for free thinkers, unless you're daring them to make a move. Tell me, preacher. Governance teaches propaganda to work within and not tinker. Submission comes from choosing to give in, being thought there isn't another. Family's there to support you, be there for one another. It isn't blood that bonds commons, but care for each other. It's scary on your own, compensations make a bully. Douches like you see on TV, but it ain't happening to you and me. Despite the fact that Trump left the populace sick and dying, starving, homeless, and thirsty, and the world didn't go without trying, but the working people of America proved resilient in their time, but their resilience didn't benefit the lucrativeness of their dime. We fight tooth and nail to keep our rights, it distracts us. Companies puppet this theater to steal from your back pockets. It's a battle on two fronts, which Biden couldn't relieve us. Wars on terror remind us perhaps one day that could be us. Casting shadow clones like Naruto is OP. Like father, like son ain't forbidden as it used to be. Infinite chakra breeding infinite masses, but even with 1 to 3, victory can be claimed if you use it creatively. How can you call it fair if you break the rules? I had to get out of school in order to get schooled. I have spoken too much, but not enough against those who rule. Life's a drag, but you learned learning experience, you fool. Do trust that things are better than they once were, though, from a multi-essential worker's perspective. Ugh, what a mouthful. After listening to Kamala and Tim, I feel a little bit hopeful on continued growth if we choose to elect them, though. I may be a man, but I have predators hunting me, willpower to survive and not succumb to pride preventing me from being preyed upon. It is a benefit of never being a fish too big for the pond, but that was only the case until COVID came along. Sickness in a small town where I didn't know anybody, working as a commuter to flip burgers to fill your belly. Co-workers don't exist unless they're being paid to be. That's why I guess relationships mean what they do to me. I'm doing background checks on the families of reoccurring faces that I'm seeing coming in and out of my family's houses. The extensive research our teachers neglected to mention. I'm watching my school board and councils where I choose to settle in. I hear Kamala's for democracy, something unions seem to mind. She's led a whole career to fight for the rights of victims in some crimes. Donald Trump stages coups, spreads misinformation, campaigns to de-educate the world population, flirts with dictators so his socials are mentioned. The world's a series of dollars for facilitation of tax cuts to big industries like oil, property, and arms dealing to cause the inflation bubble capitalism forces us to be experiencing. Donald Trump told the Christians they need only vote one more time. You elect to stand by while your rights are taken for the cost of covering up his crime. If you elect him now, they won't need to again. They'll have it so fixed there won't be another election. I'm sick of social unrest always happening on school campuses, but it's where you go to learn things, so it's good to pay attention. It opens your eyes to the fact that there are differing methods. During his presidency, Proud Boys would clash with Antifa. Fights would break out in the streets, makes it hard to come out and greet ya. Human rights campaigns fight the GOP and Trump's various administrations, all ending in a shebang of kung flu and paranoia that led to a coup attempt. There was a seriously poor response to the surge of COVID-19. It was made into a talking point to bring up Trump's regime, taking little into account that people were forced from their homes by landlords who didn't want to even help facilitate another being's things. This created a mix, a homeless COVID pandemic that could be stopped only if the lords get compensated. But this was merely one stir in the cauldron of life. Social unrest has been going on for a long time. Donald Trump's entire persona is scandalousness. His supporters conspire theorists who catch up in this mess. Kamala's job before politics was putting men like him in prison. If you don't believe me, why? Let me verify your information. To be a conservative's to admit to being literally old-minded, blindsided by what's after the aftermath of humanity's challenges. So challenge those that you love, those that you don't will fail if you're doing it right. The challenge can meet your level, continued perpetuation all might. It's funny how humans limit life as much as humanly possible to enable a fantasy they think in their minds is somewhat probable. Combat and conquest is daunting, but not to you. It's in pursuit of these ventures that I know there is an end to. Those who can't do, teach, or so they say. Clowning on children for children clowning children is fucking lame. I'll say, I learned that as a child. People do it because it's easy. I'm just saying, I'm looking out for future generations. Aren't you with me? The Biden administration has been supplying both Ukraine and Israel, an unfortunate drawback from our complex of arms to deal. At least he pulled out of Afghanistan, but then again, I can't even tell if that's real. I'm more concerned with not facilitating grief to claim the prophet's ills. I write this for my sister and for the women who had to grow up thinking they were lesser. School shootings haunting halls magnified by peer pressure. To the GOP and all you fucking crackers, I attack you.